Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to the 12 Alvas. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Narayan. I welcome all of you present here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups from around the world. My topic for discussion continues in the category of creation, and I want to state that in the creation of any entity, the Creator can be known. Through the creation of any entity, the Creator can be known. Having said that, it is to be noted that it is not easy to understand the Creator. It is not easy to understand the Creator. For neophytes, neophyte aspirants, for those that want to understand oneself and creation, it is more convenient to open your eyes to our wondrous nature. Look around, see all the different colors in the leaves of plants, of trees, of flowers. Look at the butterflies, look at the wings, look at the perfect symmetry of the wings of butterflies. Look at this perfect symmetry of the petals of plants that are different colors. Look at the variety of roses and the variety of plants. And this should inspire you, within you, that there is an unseen intelligence working behind these created aspects of nature. Look at a mountain, look at a river flowing from a mountain, look at the seas, look at the Atlantic Ocean, see if you can get a video of where the Atlantic and the Pacific meet. See the division of colors, green and blue, and how the water retains its color on the two sides without mixing. Try to understand that even if you do not initially believe that there is a Lord as a person, but look at the creation. Every sea is different. Look at the lakes, how they found themselves to be providing water in landlocked areas. A huge percentage of the surface of planet Earth is water, is it not? And water from the sea, is it not? And if you take a glass of water from the sea and drink it, Divashni, what will happen? It is salty, right? Least where every New Year you go to the beach and drink some water from the sea. Alright? But there is a process called evaporation that picks up the water from the sea, turns it into a cloud, and gives it back to you as rain. What has happened to the salt that was in the water? Who is that intelligence that allowed the salt to be extracted during evaporation? What is that intelligence? So these are the questions you need to start asking as a neophyte, aspirant, and you will understand that there is a universal intelligence behind creation. A universal, I'm using the word universal and not sectarian, because if you look at nature, nature is universal. Is nature universal or sectarian? Universal. That means if they have to be a creator, that creator has to be universal, because his creation is universal. So how did sectarian religion come about in a universal creation? It's not hard, okay? Let's look at our country, South Africa. The universal law of South Africa will be its constitution. The universal law of our entire country will be its constitution, but we have 9 provinces. We have 9 provinces, and all these 9 provinces are different from each other. So we will have provincial laws for these 9 provinces. And if a provincial law is different from another provincial law, then these will become sectarian laws, won't it? So sectarian laws will be promulgated to suit a particular demography, will it not? It is necessary because the universal constitution allows for sectarian laws. And then in each of these provinces, there are numerous municipalities. All the municipalities will not be able to function as one law, because right down on the ground, the terrain is different for different municipalities. So certain laws that will be acceptable to a particular municipality would be rejected by another municipality, would it not? So we get more sectarian to suit a particular situation on the ground. All of these rules and regulatory principles within the municipality, within the provinces, have to be within the parameters of the South African Constitution as a whole, guided by the South African Constitution as a whole. Will it not? So the common substratum for all the different sectarian municipality and provinces will be the Constitution of South Africa. Similarly, there are many religions in existence today. It was necessary to exist at a particular time, at a particular place, to suit a particular demography or terrain, or grouping of people, or culture of people. So like-minded people will create a religious system within the same language, within the same culture, within the same behavior. Would they not? To guide themselves through the horrors of life, you need to create law and order. And you create law and order in society, you create law and order in your own household, don't you? Jessica?
Yes.
Who goes to the bathroom first by law in your house?
Yes.
Who? Okay, so it's a law. Is it a law? Yes, it's a law. Because law is needed to guide a behavioral aspect. It starts at home. Then when you go to work, there are laws. You just can't have your lunchtime anytime. There's time and there's regulations. So similarly, man needed to comfort man to create religious systems. And these religious systems comfort man in temples, in mosques, in synagogues, in churches. Man go to these places for some type of comfort. Okay? So it is necessary in time and place to create a system to regulate society other than governmental systems, because man is essentially spiritual in nature, which is hidden until man realizes man is spiritual. So in terms of his essential spiritual nature, if he is not given all the required information, man by his own nature is a replica of the original creator. Because the creator is spiritual and man is spiritual, made in the image of the creator, then he will have similar tendencies of the original creator. Not absolute, but tendencies. So man will create systems to suit man's emotions. So I brought this up so that we can understand Sanatan Dharma. Like you have the Constitution of South Africa, that is the substratum of all municipal ordinances, laws, all provincial ordinances, laws. Similarly, Sanatan Dharma is the universal law of the planet Earth. Because the creator of planet Earth is universal and not sectarian, he has to create a universal law as a constitution for the entire universe. Would he not? And Sanatan Dharma is a set of universal laws that exist through nature. It exists through nature and through scriptural injunctions. And all sectarian bodies, institutions, laws, religion, if you trace it properly, with an open mind, you'll find it will have to go and interface or attain its roots from the universal law. And that universal law is Sanatan Dharma. And this institution, the Sri Narayan Dham, teaches Sanatan Dharma, which is applicable which is applicable to all these sectarian religious systems that are currently in vogue and that may be created as time goes on. All of you understand? Every one of you understand? To bake a cake, you need an X amount of ingredients. You can bake 1,000 varieties of cakes. Would those 7 ingredients or 6 ingredients? Can't you? When you trace back the origin of the baking of your ingredients, it will always be the same. You change the shape, you change. In certain countries, they will want certain things that grow more profusely in that country to be on that cake. You understand? Certain people will like, certain countries will deal with ice cream cakes. Certain countries will deal with fruit cakes. Do I have any fruit cakes here? Sita, why are you laughing? You understand? So different, some countries, Rishi is not here, would like brandy in their cake. But when you break down the ingredients of the cake, ultimately it will just be 1 or 2 factors that's changing the cake as a whole. Similarly, all the religious systems that are around in vogue today, it is just a tweak here and a tweak there and a tweak there that separates the different religious systems. And if you trace them backward, ultimately they are in a universal religious system which is called Sanatan Dharma. Are you understanding? All of you. Is it simple? So, we said that the Creator creates nature. And nature can be broken down into 5 divisions: space, air, fire, water, and earth. All religious systems have to have these ingredients. So if you take a body of all the different religious persons on this earth, the 4 main religions are Islam, Hinduism, Christianity and Judaism. If you take the 4 human bodies of the 4 religious groupings, in each body you'll find these 5 elements, together with mind, intellect and ego. Won't you? And if you have to do a post-mortem on any of these bodies, you will not be able to state which religion this body belonged to. Will you be able to do a post-mortem in any of the bodies and state whether this was a Hindu body or a Muslim body or a Christian body or a body of a Jew? Would you be able to do that? Why? Because universally, all the material ingredients that make up the body of any human being in any part of planet Earth is essentially the same. Essentially the same. And this is what Sanatan Dharma teaches. That is why in Sanatan Dharma, we don't ask a Christian to become a Hindu. We don't ask a Muslim to become a Hindu. We don't ask a Jew to become a Hindu. Because Hinduism is not a religion. Hinduism is not a religion. Sanatan Dharma is the right terminology for Hinduism, and Sanatana Dharma means eternal way of life. So today, you can be a Muslim, and tomorrow you can meet a beautiful pastor, and he can give you 20 million, and you'll become a millionaire, a Christian millionaire, and then you can find a nice guru, and he'll give you 40 million, so you can become a Hindu, and then you can meet a Jew, and he can give you 80 million, and you can become a Jew. Did I miss out anyone? And then you can meet a Maulana, and he can give you 200 million. Then you can become a Muslim. Alright? But you can't change your Sanatana Dharma in you. You can't change your Sanatana Dharma within you. You can change your religion. Devashni, when you get married, then you'll change your surname. Alright? From Pillai, let's keep it a secret. Alright? So you changed your surname. And if you get married to someone that is of another religion, then you change your religion. But you couldn't change Sanatana Dharma within you, because Sanatana Dharma cannot be changed. You understand? All of you are understanding? So Sanatana Dharma is the absolute science. Sanatana Dharma is the absolute science. It teaches you how to live as a human on this planet Earth. It teaches you how to live as a human on this planet Earth. If you want fruits for your actions, then Sanatana Dharma in 80,000 hymns teaches you what actions to perform so that you can attain fruits for those actions. Then, if you want salvation, salvation means you are tired of this miserable life and you want to end this misery. Not this life, you want to end this misery, then we have 20,000 hymns that will teach you how to end this misery. And from the 20,000 hymns that will teach you how to end this misery, 4,000 hymns belong to the class of knowledge, and 16,000 hymns belong to the class of devotion. 16,000 hymns teach you how to have devotion. 4,000 hymns teach you knowledge. Both are for salvation. If there is 16,000 hymns that's teaching you devotion, then it shows you which is more practically applicable. Practically applicable. So within every human, there is a power that is lying latent in every human. A spiritual, potent power that is lying latent or dormant in every human. It means each human has been awarded with a spiritually potent power. A spiritually potent power. And the name of that power is called faith. The name of that power is called faith. That faith, if you repose it to the Supreme Lord, if you repose that faith, if you connect that power called faith that is within you, if you connect it to the Supreme Lord, then there will be a current between you and the Supreme Lord. The technician to connect that power called faith is your spiritual master. The technician to connect the power between you and the Supreme Lord is the spiritual master. And whilst the spiritual master is connecting the power between you and the Supreme Lord, he adds his grace on this power. He adds his grace on this power. Who is the president of this country currently? Cyril? Rama? Posi? Posa. Okay. If I had to connect Kishore directly with our president, how will Kishore's lifestyle change? Will it change? His material life will change. Okay? Automatically. Automatically. If the Guru connects you to the Supreme President and Creator of this universe, what should happen to you? It should automatically change. So the Creator, if you look around you, in the aquatics, if you have an opportunity to watch videos of life underwater, it is more beautiful than life here on earth. The colors are absolutely beautiful. There is a hive of activity that will boggle the human mind that takes place underwater. In absolute beauty. In absolute beauty. There's so many species of aquatic life. There's plants underwater that interact with the fish and other aquatic life in total harmony, one being the food for the other. Then on earth as well, all these systems operate with super intelligence, all being food, one being food for the other. And then don't even go so far. Look inwards. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. How many of you try to understand the beauty of the breath that you have taken in? It goes through your system. There is a complicated system in each human body, is it not? As soon as you take the breath in, it is broken into 5 components. And then it is broken into a further 5 components. It's broken into 10 components and it enters different parts of your body. Who inside your body is ensuring that your breath is broken into 10 components? Look at your digestive system. Look at your digestive system. Person, you might need overhauling. Alright? When you grind your food, when it falls into your stomach, there is a huge process taking place in there. There is a huge process taking place in there. How are your digestive juices dropping? How is the right amount of digestive juices dropping onto the food that you have consumed and breaking up the food into various categories and sending this food through your body? Who is managing that process in your digestion? Who is managing that process in your respiration? Who is managing the process in your urination, your kidneys, your urinary system? What is happening to the glass of water that you drink when it enters your system? There are so many different pipelines that's within the system that the kidneys do not take food, it just takes water. Who is managing that system inside your own body? So there has to be an intelligent guiding the system that's working within your body. Has it not? You understand? So there are so many types of bodies God has made. Why is the body of a fish different from the body of a frog, different from the body of a turtle, different from the body of a bull? These are the questions that you should ponder. These are the questions that you should ponder. Don't worry what car your neighbor has bought. Wasn't? Don't peep over the fence and see what car Abdul has bought. How will it help you? You understand? But look for that intelligent entity that's within your body, that's making so many organs function simultaneously, so that you are mobile, so that you are mobile. Look at the eyes, look at the ears, look at the nose, the tongue. All these organs have so many functions. How great you think the designer of this creation is. Tell me what goes to waste on this planet Earth. What goes to waste? There is no wastage on planet Earth. Have you observed that? Tell me what is not made from Earth. What?
Everything.
Everything is not made from planet Earth. Oh, okay. Alright. The Earth is the source of every entity and everything. And everything returns to Earth. No matter in what form it sprouts out, it all has to go back to Earth. All of you understand? You understand? So the human mind has capacity. Human mind has capacity to use the intellect to discern all these truths. The human mind has capacity to use the intellect that is awarded with to discern all this similarities and differences. This is why you have been given a human body. The reason the soul has been awarded a human body is to discern nature, understand the magnificent, infallible Creator. If you cannot understand Him through Him, understand Him through yourself. Understand Him through yourself. What is the purpose of the skin on the body? What are the various components in your eye that allows you to pick up images and distinguish between images? How great the Creator can be that the entire universe, everything in the universe is simultaneously synthesized. Is it not? Is the moon falling? Is the sun falling from its orbit? Are any of the planets falling from its orbit? What intelligence is keeping all of these things in place? And you've had experiences. We have robots now that do a whole lot of work. We have robots. Yes, they manufacture cars. You can watch videos right from the beginning to the end. Robots can perform all the functions. They even spray paint in the cars. Okay? But behind the robot, there is an intelligence. Is it not? Whose intelligence is behind these robots? Human intelligence. Similarly, whose intelligence is keeping this universe in its current status with all that is within it? Creator of the robots are human, and the creators of the human, there has to be a supreme entity. There has to be a supreme entity. All of you understand? So coming back to the human body, this human body is awarded to realize itself, which is called self-realization. And after self-realization, God realization. Because if you do not realize yourself, you cannot realize God. All of you understand? This human body has been awarded through the grace of God. This human body has been awarded through the grace of God so that you can work out the destiny that you computed on a spreadsheet in your previous and many previous lifetimes. Whatever happiness or whatever pain you are going through, you computed it on your spreadsheet in a previous lifetime. God has given you an opportunity in this lifetime to rectify your mistakes of your previous lifetime and use this body to become divine. Use this body to become divine. Rectify the mistakes of your previous lifetime and use this body in this current lifetime to become divine, so your next life there's no suffering. So in your next life there is no suffering. That is the reason you have a human body, because the human body has a capacity to discern these truths that I am expounding today. Has it not? If I bring all my ashram animals and make them sit here and give them this discourse, will they be able to discern these truths? And if you who are seated here will not be able to discern these truths, then what is the difference between you and the ashram animals? You understand? Just an animal in a human body. You understand, all of you? So use this opportunity that God has created for you to attain the knowledge of the absolute truth. The body, a human body, and I'm talking all bodies, all living entities take their birth to exhaust their merits and demerits of a previous lifetime. Alright? You get a beautiful palm tree, how long it lives? 10, 20 years? Within that palm tree is lodged a soul. Within that palm tree is lodged a soul. That palm tree will grow to exhaust its merits and demerits. When it dies, it means it has exhausted its merits and demerits. The exhaustion of the merits of and demerit of any living entity is called death. When a human dies, it means his merits and demerits for this body is now over. Do you understand? You only die when your merits and demerits for this particular body is exhausted. And you get this body, and your time in this body is calculated by your breaths and not by age. So Kishore, don't come and ask me later, Guru, which day I'll die. Okay? It all depends on you. And this is why we ask all of you to remove anger. To remove anger. Because what happens, Satisbhai, when you are angry with your breathing?
Erratic.
Huh?
Breathing is erratic.
And
Choice.
fast. You're supposed to take 21,600 breaths in 24 hours. And if Jessica makes you very angry, you could take 42,000 breaths in 24 hours. Then how long you think you do? And who'll be your murderer? Jayashree, you enjoying this? Where are you looking at your life in your current temperament? How many more years you giving yourself? So when gurus and Sanatan Dharma tell you not to be angry, there's a reason. Because the more angry you are, the faster you expend your breath. Alright? And look at all these great yogis in the Himalayas. They hardly breathe. They hardly breathe. And they can live up to 200 years, 300 years, because it is the amount of breath. Okay? So don't try to be like them. They have trained their bodies to be like that. That is why. If you hold your breath for too long, you will die anyway. Okay? So please don't be angry. Our rule number 1 in Sanatana Dharma is don't be angry. Because from anger, you get delusion. From anger, you get delusion. Alright? So if you don't be angry, there is no delusion. And delusion is very, very dangerous. Because it makes you think of so many things that's not a reality. Okay, so you understood? Creation. The reason God created variety is that ultimately, when you look at this wondrous creation, if this creation is so wonderful, how wonderful you think Lord Sriman Narayan? Jai Sriman Narayan.